I bet you didn't know that there's an entire hidden world beneath your feet. All around the globe, from Turkey to Brazil, from the deserts of California to the mysterious catacombs here in Europe. Tunnels and underground cities have been carved deep into the earth. Some were built for survival, others for worship, and some have no explanation at all. The thing is with these tunnels, they raise questions that archaeology still struggles to answer. The main question being who built them, and why are they found on nearly every continent, and could some of them be much older than we've been led to believe. In this video, we'll explore 12 of the most mysterious and unexplained underground tunnels on Earth. From legends of giants and lizard people, to vanished skeletons and possible evidence of a forgotten civilization. This is the secret history beneath the ground that you walk on. So guys, do me a favour, grab a flashlight because we're going deep underground. For this first section, we're going to Cappadocia in Turkey, a city that is located beneath the ground. Beneath the strange alien landscape of Cappadocia in Turkey lies one of the most astonishing underground networks in the world. Here, entire cities were carved directly into the volcanic rock, stretching deep beneath the surface. The most famous of these is Derinkuyu, a vast subterranean complex that once housed up to 20,000 people. So just imagine this, a city underground, stables for animals, kitchens, wine cellars, schools, chapels, even a ventilation system that still works today. Some tunnels stretch down 18 stories deep. Mainstream archaeology tells us that it was built around the 7th or 8th century AD, probably as a refuge for invading armies, but when you stand inside it, you can't help but wonder, was this really just a medieval hideout, or could the tunnels be much, much older? Some researchers point out that the sheer size and complexity of Cappadocia's underground cities suggest generations of construction, possibly stretching back thousands of years. There are local legends that say the tunnels were built by beings not of this world, or by an earlier civilization that existed before recorded history. One strange feature is how organised everything is. Narrow passages could be sealed with giant rolling stone doors, protecting inhabitants from anyone trying to invade. Ventilation shafts keep air circulating even today, as if they were engineered with an advanced understanding of airflow. Conspiracy theorists argue that Cappadocia might have been built as a kind of shelter, not just from human enemies, but from something far greater, a global catastrophe, a war in the skies. Some even suggest they were survival bunkers from the Ice Age, preserved and reused by later civilizations. And what's even more fascinating is that Cappadocia isn't unique. Across the region there are dozens of similar underground cities, many of them still unexplored. Could all of these hidden tunnels be part of a forgotten network, or a subterranean world beneath ancient Anatolia? Whatever the truth, Cappadocia is proof of one thing: humanity has always looked underground for safety and maybe for secrets. A fun fact for people who were born in England: this is the birthplace of St. George. It was also home to many Christians who were fleeing persecution from the Roman Empire. For number 2, let's look at the Kern tunnels in California and the myths of giants. Hidden in the remote desert mountains of California is one of the strangest underground mysteries in North America. These are said to run beneath the Panamint Mountains, stretching for miles deep under Death Valley. The story goes back to native legends, which spoke of a race of red-haired giants who lived underground. According to the elders, these beings were powerful, warlike, and eventually driven into hiding below the earth after conflict with the tribes. But this story doesn't end with legend. In the 1930s, a group of miners claimed they stumbled onto the entrance to a vast system of tunnels. While exploring in the Panamint Range, they allegedly discovered massive chambers filled with relics, artifacts, strange carvings, even what looked like gigantic stone chairs. Some reports even claim they found mummies of giants perfectly preserved in the dry desert air. But just as quickly as the story appeared, it disappeared. The official records of the discovery became impossible to find. Those who kept talking about it were dismissed as hoaxes or simply ignored. Skeptics will say these are nothing more than tall tales, but there's a strange consistency to them. Similar stories of giant skeletons and hidden cities appear all across America, from Nevada to the Midwest. and many were published in old 19th century newspapers before vanishing from mainstream history. So here's the question: were the miners telling the truth about what they saw? Did they accidentally uncover the remains of a lost civilization beneath Death Valley? And if so, why would anyone want to cover it up? Maybe the tunnels under Cairn are still there, sealed off and waiting, or maybe the desert swallowed them whole. Either way, the legend of the Cairn tunnels still lingers, giants, buried secrets, and a hidden world beneath California's sands. For the next section, we're heading off to Brazil to take a look at the unexplained megatunnels called the Paleo Burrows. Deep in the jungles and hills of Brazil, explorers have discovered something that doesn't fit into the timeline of history. Hidden beneath the earth are enormous tunnels, some stretching hundreds of feet, carved with such precision and size that no known ancient civilization in the region is thought to have built them. Locals call them the Paleo Burrows. At first glance they look almost like natural caves, but scientists who study them say they aren't natural at all. The walls are too smooth, the tunnels have too much uniform, and in many cases you can still see scratch marks running along the stone. Mainstream researchers insist that these were dug by massive extinct animals, giant ground sloths or armadillos the size of cars. And while it's true that such creatures once roamed South America, these tunnels are far too long, too complex, and too deliberate to have been made by animals digging at random. Some of the Paleo burrows are tall enough for a human to walk upright inside, stretching for hundreds of meters, with branching passages and perfectly rounded walls. They look less like burrows and more like ancient highways. Could they be remnants of a lost culture that predates recorded history in South America? A civilization capable of massive underground engineering long before the Incas or the Amazonians. Even stranger, the tunnels seem to appear in clusters across Brazil, as if they were once part of a vast underground network. Were they used for travel, for safety, or for something much more mysterious? Some suggest these tunnels may not be animal made at all, but evidence of an advanced prehistoric society, one that modern archaeology refuses to acknowledge. Some even believe they could connect to the legendary underground world known as Agartha. Whether they were carved by giant beasts, forgotten civilizations, or something even stranger, the Paleo burrows of Brazil remain an enigma. A network of tunnels stretching silently beneath the rainforest, holding secrets we've only just begun to uncover. For number 4, we're heading to Malta to look at some 6,000-year-old tunnels. On the small Mediterranean island of Malta lies one of the most mysterious underground structures in the world. The hypogeum is a labyrinth of tunnels, chambers and passageways carved entirely underground more than 6,000 years ago. To put that into context, that's older than the pyramids of Giza, older than Stonehenge, and yet somehow it's still standing today. Nobody knows exactly why it was built. Some chambers seem designed for burials, others for rituals, and one room, the famous Oracle Room, has acoustic properties so unusual that a voice spoken inside can resonate through the entire complex. It almost feels engineered for sound, or perhaps for something else we can't quite understand. But the real mystery lies in the discoveries made inside. Archaeologists reportedly found the remains of over 7,000 individuals in the hypogeum. Among them were skeletons that didn't quite fit the mold. Some were elongated skulls, reminiscent of the strange cranial shapes found in Peru and Egypt. These unusual skulls were photographed and even displayed for a short time, but then mysteriously they vanished. Today's officials say they can't account for them. Why would such important artifacts disappear? Was it a simple case of poor record keeping, or something a lot more deliberate? Some conspiracy theorists argue that Malta's tunnels could be remnants of much older advanced culture, perhaps survivors of Atlantis or an Ice Age civilization wiped from history. Others believe the hypogeum might have been a kind of initiation chamber or even a contact point with beings not of this earth. Adding to the mystery are old Maltese legends that speak of the sleeping children, stories about people entering the tunnels and never returning. Today the hypogeum is tightly controlled, only a small number of visitors are allowed inside each day, and many of its deeper chambers remain closed to the public. What secrets might still be hidden in the tunnels of Malta? We may never know, but whatever their true purpose, these 6,000-year-old passageways prove one thing. Our ancestors were building worlds underground long before history says they should have been able to do so. Oh, and one more thing, The hypogeum and other ancient tunnels were later rumoured to have been used by the Templars when the island was controlled by them. Some even say relics or forbidden texts were stored in hidden chambers beneath Malta. Beneath the modern city of Los Angeles, one of America's strangest urban legends claims there's an entire underground city built not by humans but by a race of reptilian beings. The story begins in the 1930s when a mining engineer named G. Warren Shufelt claimed he had discovered a vast network of tunnels under downtown LA using a device he called a radio X-ray machine. He mapped out what he said were passageways stretching for miles, forming the shape of a giant lizard. According to Shufelt, the tunnels weren't empty. He claimed they contained chambers filled with golden tablets, inscribed with the history of a lost civilization. Even stranger, he said his source for this information was a Hopi elder who told him of the lizard people, an advanced race that escaped the cataclysm by building their cities deep underground thousands of years ago. Newspapers at the time ran with this story, publishing diagrams of the supposed tunnel system under Los Angeles. Shufelt even began digging beneath Fort Moore Hill, convinced he was about to uncover one of the greatest archaeological finds in history. But then the project abruptly stopped. The dig was shut down, Shufelt vanished from the headlines, and the whole thing was written off as a hoax. Officially nothing was ever found. Yet the legends refused to die. Some believe Shufelt really was onto something. After all, Los Angeles is known to have storm drains and forgotten service tunnels running beneath the city. Could some of these actually be remnants of something far older? Conspiracy theorists tie this legend into a larger idea that reptilian beings or shape-shifting lizard people have been influencing human civilization for centuries. For centuries, humans have wondered if there's more beneath the earth than just soil and rock. Some legends suggest an entire hidden world exists below us, a subterranean civilization known as Agartha. According to ancient texts, the esoteric traditions, Agartha isn't just a myth. It's said to be a vast network of underground cities, rivers and tunnels spanning the globe. Some claim entrances exist in remote places, the Himalayas, the Arctic, South America, even inside volcanoes, proposing that these underground worlds are inhabited by advanced beings, far older and wiser than humanity. Some say the civilizations of Agartha were responsible for teaching early humans advanced knowledge, architecture and even technology. Conspiracy theorists love to connect this theory to real tunnels. We've already discussed Cappadocia, Brazil's Paleo burrows. Could all these underground networks be remnants of a single global system, linking the surface world with Agartha below? Nazis obsessed with the occult reportedly searched for entrances to Agartha in Tibet, Antarctica and Germany. Some claim these secret expeditions inspired modern UFO sightings, unexplained disappearances and even hidden military bases. And here's the chilling part: if Agartha exists, some theorists warn that the governments and secret societies have known about it all along. Every tunnel discovered could be part of a deliberate cover-up to keep humanity from discovering the truth beneath our feet. Whether Agartha is real or just a myth, the idea taps into something deeply human, the desire to explore the unknown and the fear that some places, some knowledge might be too dangerous to uncover. The next time you think the ground beneath you is solid, consider this: what if it's actually a gateway to an entire hidden world? For our final location, we're heading to Giza to talk about the hidden chambers beneath the pyramids. The Giza Plateau in Egypt is famous for its towering pyramids, but beneath these ancient monuments lies a hidden world that few have ever explored. Secret tunnels, chambers and passageways that may hold some of humanity's oldest secrets. Modern scans of the Great Pyramid have revealed voids and cavities in its structure, some large enough to be chambers. Archaeologists and engineers have debated their purpose for decades. Legends speak of hidden libraries beneath the Sphinx, secret burial chambers containing lost knowledge, and tunnels connecting all three pyramids of Giza. Some researchers suggest these were built not just as tombs, but as repositories for ancient wisdom, to protect them from invaders or time itself. This is where the conspiracies really take hold. Some claim the pyramids are markers for underground networks that stretch across Egypt and perhaps even the world, linking sites like Malta, Peru and Cappadocia. Others argue that the Great Pyramid itself is a gateway to a forgotten subterranean civilization, one that predates recorded history. The mystery deepens with stories of explorers who allegedly found strange artifacts in hidden tunnels, tools that shouldn't exist for the era, symbols no one has deciphered, and inscriptions that hint at knowledge lost to humanity. Despite centuries of excavation and research, much of what lies beneath Giza remains off limits, controlled by the Egyptian authorities. Whatever the truth, the pyramids remind us that our history is deeper, sometimes literally than we imagine. Beneath the sands of Egypt, as under so many places around the world, lies a silent, hidden world waiting to be discovered. It's clear that humanity has always looked underground for safety, for secrecy, and sometimes for something we may never fully understand. Some of these tunnels were built for practical reasons, others were spiritual or ritualistic, and some remain unexplained, whispering secrets from a forgotten past, or perhaps a hidden world beneath our very feet. So next time you walk along a city street or explore a mountain path, remember, the world above is only half the story. Beneath us a hidden world awaits, full of mystery, history, and secrets that may never see the light of day.